Those are the specimens that often fetch hundreds or even thousands. As with many wheat pennies, the real excitement lies in what collectors are willing to pay today. On platforms like eBay and heritage auctions, 1935 wheat pennies in pristine condition have sold for amounts that would shock anyone who dismisses pennies as worthless. Bidding wars often erupt over coins with unusual features or extraordinary preservation, sending prices soaring. Part of the magic of the 1935 penny lies in its dual nature. On one hand, it is an accessible coin; many people can find one in their collection. On the other hand, it has the potential, depending on condition and rarity, to bring in substantial money if sold in the right marketplace. This balance between commonality and hidden value is what makes it such a captivating piece for collectors and investors alike. Its historical importance cannot be overstated. This was a coin used by children to buy their first treats, by workers to scrape together enough for lunch, by families stretching every cent during desperate times. Holding one today is like holding a tiny time capsule of the 1930s. In auctions, rare varieties of the 1935 penny have surprised even seasoned collectors. Some examples graded by top certification services like PCGS and NGC have broken expectations, proving that condition and provenance can make all the difference. Stories of these surprising sales continue to fuel interest among those hunting for the next great find. So why does the 1935 wheat penny continue to matter so much in the coin world? Because it connects everyday people to a grander story. It embodies the grit of a generation that endured hardship and emerged stronger. It proves that something as small as a penny can carry enormous historical and financial weight. Now, if you've held on to one of these coins or maybe inherited a collection from a relative, you might be sitting on something much more valuable than you think. This is where things could turn the tables for you. And here's the key part. If you really want to know what your 1935 Liberty wheat penny could be worth today, if you want to learn where and how you can actually sell it for top value, here's what I want you to do. Drop the word price in the comment. 1968 sitting in your drawer. Something you might think is just ordinary change. But what if I told you that this coin could actually change your fortune? The Liberty 5-cent coin from 1968 has a history, a story, and a market value that might surprise you. If you have one, it might just turn the tables for you. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal how much it's worth according to eBay, other online platforms, and even auction houses. Plus, I'll guide you on how you can sell it. And at the very end, I'll tell you exactly how you can find its true price and the selling procedure. So stick around. The Liberty nickel, more commonly known as the Jefferson nickel by 1968, carried forward a legacy that started back in 1938 when it replaced the Buffalo nickel, designed by Felix Schlag. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse is Jefferson's home, Monticello, an architectural masterpiece that remains one of America's most iconic symbols. 1968, the United States Mint was undergoing changes. The Coinage Act of 1965 had eliminated silver from dimes and quarters, and nickels continued to be struck from their long-standing alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel. That makes the 1968 nickel not just a coin, but a snapshot of American economic policy during a turbulent period. What makes the 1968 issue particularly interesting is that it was one of the first years when the San Francisco Mint began striking proof nickels again, after a brief hiatus. So, you'll find not only the regular circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver but also proof coins from San Francisco. Each variety carries a different level of collectability and value. The Philadelphia Mint coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins carry a D mint mark, and San Francisco issues carry an S mint mark. Proof coins from San Francisco are especially attractive to collectors because of their mirror-like finish and low mintages compared to circulation coins. As everyday money, the 1968 Liberty 5-cent coin passed through countless hands during an era marked by the Vietnam War, civil rights movements, and cultural shifts across America. That's why holding one today feels like holding a piece of American history frozen in time. Now when it comes to value, condition and mint mark make all the difference. A heavily circulated 1968 nickel might only be worth its face value or slightly more on eBay and similar platforms. These sell for around 25 cents to $1 in average condition. But coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can fetch significantly higher amounts. For example, a 1968 D nickel in brilliant uncirculated condition can bring anywhere from $10 to $30, depending on its grade. A 1968 S-proof nickel, especially in deep cameo condition, can sell for $50 or more. In rare cases, coins with exceptional weight. Penny is one of those coins that might just turn the tables for you. At first glance, it looks ordinary, but when you understand its history and what collectors are paying for it today, you'll realize why this little piece of copper is far more valuable than it appears. Stick around until the end of this video, because we'll uncover not only its history but also what it's worth today, and how you can actually sell it. The Liberty Wheat Penny, also known as the Lincoln Wheat Cent, has a legendary place in American coinage. Designed by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909, it was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The wheat ears on the reverse symbolized prosperity, growth, and the strength of America during the early 20th century. By 1954, the coin had already been in circulation for 45 years, making it both a familiar everyday coin and a piece of long-running history. The year 1954 itself was an interesting time in American history. The United States was recovering from the aftermath of World War II. The Cold War tensions were rising, and everyday Americans were experiencing the economic boom of the 1950s. In that climate, the 1954 wheat penny continued its role as a common coin in the hands of workers, children, and business owners alike. Minted in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the 1954 wheat penny exists in different varieties. The Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint mark, the Denver coins carry a small D under the date, and the San Francisco coins carry an S. While millions were minted, not all of them survived in pristine condition, and that is where their value begins to rise today. On the obverse, we find the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln. His image represents freedom, leadership, and unity. On the reverse, the twin stalks of wheat flank the words 1 cent, and at the bottom, United States of America. These simple design elements connect the coin directly to America's agricultural roots and national pride. From a composition standpoint, the 1954 wheat penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This copper base gives the coin a rich reddish-brown tone when uncirculated, but over time, many circulated pieces have taken on darker hues, sometimes with unique patinas that collectors find attractive. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 71 million wheat pennies in 1954, while Denver minted more than 250 million, and San Francisco struck around 96 million. Because of these high mintages, circulated examples are still relatively easy to find, but in uncirculated condition, or with certain striking errors, the 1954 wheat penny becomes much more desirable. Error coins from 1954 are especially sought after. Double die errors, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks can turn an otherwise common coin into one worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors love these imperfections, with the decades of American history, numismatic intrigue, and surprising value potential. If you happen to have a Liberty 5-cent coin from 1977, it might just turn the tables for you. Stick around until the end of this video, because we'll uncover not only the incredible story behind this coin, but also how much it's worth today according to eBay, online platforms, and auction records, plus how you can sell one if it's sitting in your pocket or collection. The Liberty 5-cent coin, commonly known as the Jefferson nickel in its later years, has been part of American coinage since the early 20th century. By 1977, this coin was not just a piece of circulating currency. It was a continuation of a long tradition that linked everyday Americans to their nation's heritage. The obverse of the coin features a proud portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence, while the reverse displays his iconic home, Monticello. This design, originally introduced in 1938, had already become a cornerstone of U.S. coinage by the time 1977 rolled around. The year 1977 itself was a fascinating period in American history. The United States was emerging from the shadows of the Vietnam War and grappling with economic challenges such as inflation and unemployment. Everyday purchases were often made with nickels like these, giving them a place in the rhythm of daily life. For collectors, however, 1977 nickels now serve as a snapshot of the era, reflecting both the artistry of American coinage and the practical role coins played in society. Production of the 1977 Liberty 5-cent coin was handled at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with no mint mark on Philadelphia coins and a demarking coin struck in Denver. There were millions produced, making them widely available at the time. Yet, as any seasoned collector knows, not all coins are created equal. While the majority circulated heavily and show signs of wear, a smaller percentage survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. These are the coins that today capture the attention of collectors and investors alike. We are diving into the history and value of the Liberty wheat penny from 1940, a coin that may look simple at first glance but carries decades of history, heritage, and in some cases, serious value. If you own one of these, it just might turn the tables for you. Stick around until the very end because I'll share exactly how you can sell this coin, where collectors are buying, and the surprising prices it has been fetching. Online. The wheat penny has long been a beloved series among coin collectors. Minted between 1909 and 1958, the Lincoln wheat cent was designed by Victor David Brenner and introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure. That alone makes the wheat penny a piece of history that stands out in the world of American numismatics. The 1940 wheat penny was minted during an important time in American history. The world was on the brink of World War II, and while the United States had not yet entered the conflict, the political climate was tense. Millions of these coins circulated in everyday commerce, carrying the image of Lincoln on one side and to wheat stalks on the other, symbolizing prosperity and growth during uncertain times. For ordinary citizens, this penny represented not just currency, but resilience. Now, the 1940 penny was struck in huge numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 586 million of them, while the Denver Mint added more than 81 million with the small d mint mark, and San Francisco contributed over 112 million with the S mint mark. That means in total, more than 780 million wheat pennies entered circulation in 1940. Because of that, a regular circulated example is often worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars. But what makes this coin fascinating is the variation in condition, mint marks, and rare errors that can dramatically raise its value. Collectors love this coin for its history, but they pay premiums for high-grade examples. A 1940 wheat penny in average circulated condition might only be worth around 10 to 50 cents, but an uncirculated one with strong luster and minimal marks can sell for $10 to $1.20. And when you reach the highest levels of grading, such as coins graded mint state 67 or higher, the price jumps into the hundreds and even thousands of dollars. These top-tier coins are rare survivors that avoided wear and damage for over 80 years, making them highly desirable to serious collectors. Errors and varieties also add another layer of excitement. For example, some 1940 wheat pennies show doubling on the obverse, where the letters or date look doubled due to a die error.